I'm super excited today to share with you Roman chamomile. So we've been going through the ABCs, and so we're on the R's. So I get the Roman chamomile. And you know what? What's interesting about me, this is I found out things about Roman chamomile I didn't know before. Most of us already know that, the teas, Roman chamomile tea, what does that do for us? That keeps us, that's the sleepy time, quote unquote, tea, right? So if we're looking at Roman chamomile, we usually look at Roman chamomile as being for sleep, for calming, all those things in that way. It's like, but there's a ton of things that Roman chamomile can do for us that's totally different that I really didn't even realize. And it's like, I got to use this oil more often. And so it's always great to have a challenge, right? Because then that's when you're like, oh, you find out things. So first off, Roman chamomile can be used all three ways: aromatically or topically, or we can ingest it. We can either put it in water and drink it, or we could put it in a capsule. It really depends on what we want to do with that particular essential oil, because do we want it to go through our digestive system? Do we just want to put it on us topically? Do we want to diffuse it so we can smell it? It's what are the benefits that you're looking for at the time, because a lot of people get confused of, well, which way do I use it? It's like you really have to think about how you, or what the benefit is that you want from that essential oil, or any essential oil for that matter. And I love being able to find out more about the essential oils. And so for Roman chamomile, we have, it's good for stress. If you are very stressed, you can just take your oil, and I have it here somewhere. I thought I had it here somewhere, but I probably set it down somewhere and didn't bring it here. But all you've got to do is take the lid off and then just smell it. And so if we are super stressful, whether we are diffusing it, whether we're just putting it in our hands and smelling it, put it on the back of our neck. If you don't want to smell like it, put it on the bottom of your feet, right? But did you also know that Roman chamomile can also be good for high blood pressure? So if we think about how Roman chamomile is good for calming issues, right? Then what is high blood pressure? But that you might want to do it over the heart. Or excuse me, not high blood pressure, low blood pressure. So it's the opposite. Sorry for saying high blood pressure, because it actually is for low. And put it over the heart. So you want to get things active again, right? Or the back of the neck. And this is where you can think about putting it in a capsule and taking it internally, or just drinking it. Chasing it in juice, water, a smoothie, whatever it is that you're looking at, whichever is easiest for you. And with that, we're going to reduce the anxiety that's going on. And it's kind of like, I know people that were all excited because when they used an essential oil, and they have a heart condition, and they're usually going to the hospital, and then when they're rubbing essential oils over their heart to let everything just kind of settle in and regroup, calm down, however way you want to see it, and they get so excited when they're like, I didn't have to go to the hospital. And it's like, that's great, right? But they're like, no, you don't understand. I didn't have to go to the hospital, right? So they're super excited about that. And it's fun to be able to have something that keeps you from having the issues that you normally have. And half the time, when people are going to the hospital, they're coming home with something else. And that was why this person was so excited about using an essential oil over their heart, because they didn't have to go to the hospital. They didn't come home with something else that they had to deal with. I think that's great. And what about, so we already know that it's about calming and sleeping and helping us to sleep. So insomnia is probably something you want to consider. But what about fever or earaches, those kinds of things? Have you ever thought about using Roman chamomile for those things? Because it's also very good for that. Or cramping. How many of us get cramps and the first one we reach for is Clary Calm, but have you ever thought about Roman chamomile? You can just apply it to the abdomen for those times during the month when you get those cramps or any other time. How about when we're irritable? If we're very irritable, we usually want to, we're that cat that doesn't want to do, we're after everybody, right? And so if we're very irritable, let's look at what we can do to help in calming that irritability. You can, same thing, you can smell it, you can diffuse it, put it on the back of your neck, you can put it behind your ears, wear it as perfume, because it's a nice fragrance that we can wear it as a perfume. And have you ever thought about using it for insect bites? I know we talk about TerraShield and all these other ones. Lavender is good for that too, but what about Roman chamomile? Allergies is another thing to think about with Roman chamomile. You can apply it to the bottom of your feet, or you can take it internally again, and you can put it in bath, put it in get a handful of Epsom salt, a couple tablespoons of Epsom salts, and put a drop or two of Roman chamomile in the Epsom salts, and then put it in your bath water for a very nice aromatherapy. Your body is going to absorb the oils through the skin, but you're also going to get that nice aromatic, especially if you're wanting to wind down from the day, had a long day, whatever it is, so that you can go to bed and turn this thing off, which a lot of us have a hard time doing, and relax. Just totally relax and smell like you've got surrounded by flowers in your bathtub.